Imagina que a la edad de 5 años, tu abuela te hereda una casa con una antigüedad de más de 100 años. Tiempo después, dejas de tener contacto con ella y tras varios años, por ciertas circunstancias, decides mudarte junto a tus hijas a esa casa heredada. Una casa que sin saberlo, se encuentra llena de cosas de 4 generaciones. Lo extraño en esto, es que al preguntar a más familiares sobre la propiedad, estos siempre evaden el tema. Este es el caso de Alex Calvo, el hombre que descubrió que su bisabuelo estuvo metido en todo tipo de situaciones sobrenaturales, lidió con criaturas, brujas, exorcismos y cosas más turbias. Y ahora, Alex es víctima de una serie de eventos sobrenaturales junto a su familia.
What was that? Oh, shit. Oh, no.
El hombre que ves en pantalla es precisamente Alex, y su historia comienza con el siguiente video.
So I got some kind of weird news, kind of a good news, bad news situation. Let me start by saying that, over this past year and a half, I've been struggling like a lot of people. It was already difficult, being a single father. I've got 2 daughters. One's a toddler, the other's a teenager. It was kind of like a, what am I going to sell this month to make rent situation. And now I own a house. I inherited a house. And it's not like a giant mansion, but it's more than good enough for me and the girls. And, the bad news part is that my grandmother died. I hadn't seen her since I was like 5 years old, but still, And now I just have to tell my 15-year-old daughter, who just started high school, that we are moving hundreds of miles away tomorrow. Wish me luck.
Alex jamás supo la verdadera razón por la que su madre ya no permitió que conviviera con su abuela. Solo sabía que algo había ocurrido. Sin darle mucha importancia y ante diversas circunstancias, junto a sus hijas decide mudarse a una pequeña ciudad ubicada en Florida, Estados Unidos.
Okay. Got everybody here. Heading on into the new house for the first time. They say go. Yeah. See how scary? It's kind of scary, actually. Oh, look at all this stuff. Dollhouse for you, Salo. Go. Okay. This kitchen's pretty nice.
Ready? I'm ready to go out, Grandma.
Go close the door.
¿Lo viste? Una silueta negra y alta logra verse en el reflejo, misma que de un segundo a otro desaparece.
Go. Okay. 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 This kitchen's pretty nice.
Ready? I'm ready to go out, Grandma.
Y es que esta es la casa que le heredaron, y tras el fallecimiento de su abuela, la propiedad quedó intacta como lo vemos en las imágenes. En este punto, podemos decir que solo bastó este video para saber que algo siniestro se encuentra en ese lugar. Para mala suerte de Alex, esto pasó desapercibido. Además, recordemos que él no es consciente de la historia, pues su último recuerdo antes de ser alejado de sus abuelos ocurrió a la edad de 5 años. La única información que le dijeron al entregarle la herencia fue que su abuela le había dejado una carta dentro de la casa. La ubicación tendría que descubrirla por sí mismo. Por este motivo, desde el primer momento comenzó a revisar el lugar.
Okay, this one is not quite as creepy as it is just weird. It's just an old bookshelf downstairs. I know that you can pause the video, but if you look at the titles, they're all religious, esoteric, some kind of spirituality, you know, it's all something. Oh, shit. Okay, maybe this is creepy. Traces of the past. What the fuck? Okay, I think I just found the letter that my grandmother left me.
La carta fue encontrada. La mala noticia fue el modo en que la halló. En la carta venían escritos temas familiares y una especie de disculpa por parte de su abuela hacia él, esto debido al alejamiento entre ambos. Sin embargo, en una parte de la carta mencionaba algo inquietante.
Okay, so I didn't post anything yesterday. It's currently about 2:30 a.m., but I'll probably post this tomorrow morning. If you watched the last video, you saw I found the letter that my grandmother left for me, and you saw the circumstances of that letter. Book falling off the bookshelf seemingly by itself. I'm a skeptic. I'm not going to jump to any conclusions, but it was kind of weird. I'm going to break this up a little, but I'm going to read this letter. Okay, now I've already read it myself, and I'm going to try and, it's kind of emotional, but I'm just going to read it as it is. Hey, you kiddo. It's been a long time. I'm sorry that this note is the closest thing we'll get to ever talking again. That's anybody's fault but yours. I've always known I'd leave you the house ever since you were about a year old, though I had hoped we would spend many more happy days in it first. I hope it proves a comforting and loving home for you and the girls, who are both gorgeous, and that you three live out those happy days. If you're anything like you were as a child, you'll find great joy in all the history under this roof. The house is brimming with it, including a great deal about our family. My father's journals are still around here and there. Have wonderful lives. Love, Grandma. Okay, now this is where it gets kind of weird on the back, and I'll talk a little bit more about it in a follow-up video. P.S. I am adding this note a good bit later. After a lifetime of completely refusing to acknowledge any of this to anyone, it's hard to even write. You will likely experience some strangeness. I want to assure you and your family that there is no danger. Anything you hear, see, or feel means you no harm, even if it seems to. Though the yard can be extra mischievous. And watch out for Frogette. She gets into everything. Okay.
Forget se mete en todo. ¿A qué se refería su abuela con esto?
And watch out for Frogette. She gets into everything. Okay.
Ante la intriga por saber quién era Forget, continuó buscando más cosas en toda la casa. Es así como encontró un diario mencionado en la carta, el cual pertenecía a su bisabuelo. Presta mucha atención, porque a partir de este momento y tras descubrir el contenido de dicho diario, las cosas se vuelven aún más siniestras.
Okay, so it is time to check out the shed for the first time. I have not been inside of this thing yet. It's pretty big. And based on how it was on the inside of the house, let's see what we find. Okay, we are going in. Okay. Yes. As I was assuming, Grandma did not keep a very clean shed. I don't know how long this thing has been here. It doesn't seem as old as the rest of the house, but still, lots of crap around here. I don't know. Oh, shit. Is that one of those journals? Okay, so I found this journal that seems to have belonged to my great-grandfather. It's got some typewriter, it's got some handwritten stuff, it's got this picture. I don't know if it's him, but it was inside of there. And, what must be ancient boots. Maybe they were his too, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna look around in here a little bit more. If I find something cool, I'll post it up. Okay, so I have been looking a lot through this old-ass journal. It did belong to my great-grandfather. It is mostly just cocktails. You can look in there on made on a typewriter. It does have some other things, though. It looks like he had this from, like, the 40s until the 50s, like the late 40s through to the 50s at some point. And, you know, I mentioned him being involved in Hollywood, but I was wrong. He was actually in the movie business in Europe before he immigrated here. In Norway, Denmark, around there. He talks about this guy, Benjamin Christensen, who he says, like, really screwed him over. I don't really know much about it. I looked the guy up, and I guess he was the one who wrote and directed that movie Haxon. I'll show you a little bit about that if you're not familiar. Okay, if you're unfamiliar, Haxon was this awesome, like, satanic occult movie in the 1920s, if you can believe it, that came from Norway and Denmark. I knew about it a little bit just because I'm a horror and fantasy fan, and, you know, these are just the pictures that come up on Google. It was written and directed by this guy, Benjamin Christensen, who I just looked up and found on Wikipedia. You know, yeah, my great-grandfather, all he says in this thing is that he keeps talking about how the guy screwed him over somehow. And then he came here to the United States. Seems to make reference to other journals he'd had before. Maybe he had some more after. I'm going to keep looking around the house because this is a pretty intriguing mystery. I really want to know what happened. And I'll keep you guys updated if I find anything cool.
Esto era inquietante. Ahora toma en cuenta la ubicación de la propiedad. Un lugar pequeño donde los pobladores se conocen muy bien y, por supuesto, al tener más de 100 años, conocen muy bien a la familia de Alex. Muy atento.
Okay, so I was in the grocery store today, and, you know, this guy, when I'm checking out in line, says something like, "Hello, sir. Are you new in town?" I know what you're thinking, but it really didn't come out threatening or deliverancy at all, so I was just like, yeah, I just inherited a house from my grandmother. This dude just looks right at me and goes, "Oh, you mean Ellie Oldry?" Now, I'm kind of, like, freaking out for a sec, but then I just kind of think, like, oh, well, you know, small town, everybody kind of knows each other, I guess. They probably know that she just died. So I'm just like, oh, yeah. And then this guy goes, "How much do you know about her father?" "I guess your great-grandfather." Man, you guys, if you've been following this at all, you know that I am very interested in that subject. And you guys, this dude literally proceeds to tell me that my great-grandfather, Leopold Oldry, was like a local historical figure, hero type person, that he helped build, like, every church built pre-1960 within 100 miles, that they would call him to churches all over the state, like, to consult and help with certain, like, problems that they were having, and I'm just like, holy shit. So I come back home, and I am looking through this old journal. I remember, you guys, I told you it was, like, mostly cocktail recipes. Well, I am, like, 75% sure now that shit is just a cover. And now, looking through this journal, I've folded to show where it is. There are notes on some of these pages, and I've cross-referenced these. There's names that look like names of churches, and they all match a church relatively in the area that would have been active in the 1940s, 50s time frame. You see there's a date. There's a date on all of them, and then there's, like, weird letters written. You know, this was the only one where I got anything more than just the weird letter, so I don't exactly know what it means. It's Lord's Grace, September 14th, EBLKS, Rosary, Ashes.
¿Qué harías en su lugar? Toma en cuenta que mientras él sigue descubriendo toda esta información sobre la propiedad y en general de su familia, de igual manera se encuentra viviendo una serie de cosas extrañas en la casa.
Okay, I figured this would be a good time to do kind of a recap video, and I'm up late with nothing else to do. So, if you haven't been following along, I inherited a house from my estranged grandmother. This is the house. It's me and my daughters.
No había nadie más en casa. No se trataba de ninguna de sus hijas, sin embargo, aquella mujer lo observaba asomada desde ese lugar a sus espaldas. Con el paso de los días, Alex por fin logra saber quién es Froget.
Hell no. Hell the fuck no. Look at this friggin' horrifying haunted frog doll that my 3-year-old daughter just had all of a sudden. If you've been following, you know we just moved into a house we inherited from my grandmother. I don't know where the hell this thing came from. She just had it all of a sudden today, and I'm debating whether or not I should burn it. Why don't you guys let me know? Okay.
Lo extraño de esto es que del mismo modo en que Forget aparece, también desapareció.
So, a quick update. That terrifying frog doll that my daughter just had yesterday is gone now. It has vanished as mysteriously as it appeared, so...
Sin tener nada claro y volviendo al tema del diario, Alex descubrió que su bisabuelo era conocido por mucha gente, ya que en su momento ayudó a construir varias de las iglesias en el pueblo. No obstante, esto parece ser una simple máscara, ya que al mencionarle a un padre el nombre de su bisabuelo, la reacción de este es algo inquietante.
So I haven't really updated on my investigation into my great-grandfather. Just because it's been a lot of days of calling different churches around the state and being told that they don't know anything, because a lot of this stuff seems to have been from between the 50s to the 70s. Obviously, not a lot of people still working in these places were around back then. The churches that were even around then. I did get this one really strange interaction on one of the churches. It's called St. Michael's. I'll just post the full call. I was recording all of them. This was the only one that was even worth showing. Okay, calling St. Michael's. It's about 84 miles away. But it's in his notebook. Father William.
St. Michael's, how can I help you?
Yeah, hey, I was told this was a good time to try and reach Father William. Is he available?
Of course, I'll transfer you now.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Alex. I was calling. I'm actually putting together an article about the churches in the area during the 60s and 70s. I know that you worked a lot with Father Edwards, your predecessor, who was very active during that time. Do you think I could ask you a couple questions? Maybe things he told you about, just to help me out.
Sure, yeah, that should be fine. Do you want to set up a meeting or something?
Well, I could just do it right now if you have the time. Would that be okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, did Father Edwards ever talk about exorcisms or like the prevalence of exorcisms and things like that during that period?
No, we never talked about anything like that.
Okay, did he ever mention the name or anybody named Leopold Oldry? You ever heard that name, or did he talk about that person?
I'm sorry, I don't think this is a good idea. Have a nice day.
Well, hold on, wait a second. Okay.
Esto dejó impactado a todos. En el momento que Alex le menciona el nombre de su bisabuelo, el padre prefirió colgar el teléfono. Las dudas continuaban y ante su incansable búsqueda, Alex dio con la dirección de una de las iglesias construidas por su abuela. Lastimosamente, esta se encontraba abandonada desde hace ya más de 30 años. De igual forma, descubrió que cerca de esa iglesia se encuentra un cementerio, sitio donde su bisabuelo fue enterrado.
Here we go. Okay, so this is the place. It's a little bit strange because it does seem kind of upkept, even though it is old and hasn't seen a service in at least like 30 years, is what I've been told. It's raining right now, so I don't know. It's kind of like right on the edge of the woods, too. All boarded up back here. This is kind of interesting. This was the church he built. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there's like an ancient looking old bell up in that tower. This is like a nowhere area. It's just like in the middle of nowhere. Weirdly upkept for an abandoned place. Yeah, these doors were painted recently. Definitely. This is the one window with a little gap. I don't know if we can see anything in there. I don't know. This is the graveyard. There's a no trespassing sign. And I hate to be a bitch, but I've got 2 daughters, so I can't risk getting into any trouble at all. So I'm just gonna look from here. It doesn't look like there's that many plots. The ones furthest away look pretty old. Let me see. No trespassing private property. So a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Don't be able to see anything.
Sin poder hacer mucho, este hombre nos mostraba una evidencia más de lo que se encuentra viviendo en esa casa.
Okay, I just heard a loud bang out here. It's the middle of the night. Sounded like it was coming from the kitchen. Hello? Holy shit. Hello? Is there somebody here? Is there somebody fucking here? What the fuck? Okay, so I just came out and saw this chair freaking slide by itself away from the table, and when I look at what was out on the table, or what I definitely did not put out here, it is my great-grandfather's journal, his old letters, those keys I found, and a photo album that I had not even known was here. I'm out here in my living room again, which is right by where that chair moved the other night. And I don't know, there's just been like scary shit going on around that. What was that? Oh shit! Oh no. What the fuck? Okay, this shit is getting too fucked up to believe. Okay, Leo, great-grandpa, whatever. I got the key. Oh, shit. I got the keys. I'm gonna try to find whatever they unlock. I feel like that's what you want me to do. Stop scaring the shit out of me. I'm gonna do this. Stop scaring the shit out of me.
Imagina estar en los zapatos de Alex y vivir todo esto. Cuidar de sus hijas, buscar información sobre lo ocurrido con su familia, especialmente con sus bisabuelos, presenciar eventos sobrenaturales y además de esto, el ver cómo la gente se le acerca tratando de decirle o advertirle de cierta manera sobre algo.
Okay, so my first question is this place really that protected?
Yes, it is. This place has been very special for a very long time.
Okay, so why is there all these buildings here and there's like a road right there?
Well, some people don't care, obviously.
I guess that's fair enough. And what about all the secrecy? Like, is this stuff really so dangerous?
Well, we're not supposed to talk about this stuff with outsiders. The woman, the one who worked with your great-grandpa, she suffered because of that.
Do you know her? Is she still alive?
I did know her, but she passed away several years ago.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me start again. I'm sorry. I really appreciate you helping me like this, especially when there's like possible consequences for you involved. I don't want anything like that to happen. But like, what kind of work did my great grandpa and this woman do together?
Well, she was gifted, and he was gifted too, and they handled dangerous things.
Like demons and ghosts and stuff like that?
Well, he first came to see her because of a 15-foot gator that was eating people, and they couldn't kill it. Sometimes they even thought that it would speak.
Wait. Are you saying there was an alligator that spoke?
It was a 15-foot gator that spoke the language of the Mayacan people.
And who are the Mayacan people?
You can look them up. I'm sure we can put together the implications.
Okay, that's really incredible. Did they ever work together again?
Yeah, later he returned the favor. When we were dealing with these little weird people that came with your ancestors, we didn't know what to do about it, so she contacted your great-grandpa and he helped.
That's really this is really awesome and incredible information you're giving me. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
Well, I can't help you anymore, so don't contact me again, okay?
Okay.
Alex dio con que la historia de aquel caimán era real, y no solo eso, sino que además se encontró con que su bisabuelo estuvo directamente relacionado con temas de hombres lobo y con una bruja. El caso de Alex Calvo continúa en marcha y se torna aún más escalofriante. Nuevos descubrimientos y nuevas evidencias continúan saliendo a la luz y poco a poco, el misterio que rodea a su familia podría desatar algo más siniestro.
So I was taking a little time off of this, not focusing quite as much on it, and then this just happened. I was looking through, putting some stuff away into some of the filing cabinets or cabinets we have around here, and when one of the drawers got stuck, I pulled it hard and it came out, and I'll show you. So this drawer came out when I pulled it too hard. I'm putting stuff away, and there is a journal underneath. Looks like it fell down there a long time ago and has been sitting at the bottom. I'm going to check it out now. Opening it up, it does appear that it belonged to my great-grandfather, Leo Oldry. Going through it is similar to the other one. It seems to be mostly recipes, but just like the other one, I think that was a cover. I have found similar sections that have names that seem like they could be places with times and weird lists of letters and things. There's also some strange maps in some parts of it. I'll show you real quick. There are definitely pages that have been ripped out. There are these weird sketches of a library of some kind. Sketched out maps of what look like towns of some kind. Perhaps the most interesting part is this detailed description of the specifics of some kind of haunting, as well as a note about a radio interview. It says Friday at 8. So that's something else for me to chase down.
Si el video te gustó, házmelo saber dejando tu me gusta y también suscribiéndote al canal, ya que de esta forma me ayudarías bastante para seguir trayendo más contenido como este. Por último, si tienes algún video, material o experiencia paranormal que te gustaría compartir con el público, no dudes en enviármelo al correo que estás viendo en pantalla, o a través de mis redes sociales que te dejo en la cajita de descripción de este video. Esto fue Estación Paranormal. Hasta la próxima.